Nepean River, it's the jewel in the crown for Camden and Penrith local government areas. And both councils are committed to understanding what's going on in this water through water quality testing. You see, water in the Nepean River and on the whole entire catchment is impacted by things such as weather, so droughts and floods. It's impacted by what we do at our homes, where we work, and also from agriculture, and further upstream, out of the control of both councils. Not only that, there's a lot of wildlife, everything from the plants fringing it in the riparian zone, all the way through to the fish and water bugs. It's all critical. Everyone plays a part. And if the water quality is not right, they can be really negatively impacted.
We test for water quality through a number of parameters like dissolved oxygen, nutrients, electrical conductivity, pH and temperature. These all help us get an understanding of what the water quality is and whether or not it's suitable for the environment and for recreational human use. We also sample for bacteria and blue-green algae, which helps us understand how safe the water might be for use.
Recreational water quality monitoring is very important to Penrith City Council. We do weekly testing between October and March every year, which is generally when we have the most users recreationally on the river. Because we want visitors to our area and our community to come down and enjoy the river for recreational purposes. And so the point of our program is to provide information so that the users of the river can make an informed decision of where and how they're going to use the river.
All those results indicate different things, and there are different sides to it. There's the non-living side. So we're talking about the abiotic factors. We're talking about things like water temperature, and as water temperature increases, its ability for the water to hold oxygen decreases. Salinity, which is tested by electrical conductance, and if the water's too saline, that's really not friendly to lots of life living in here. Things such as nitrates and phosphates, nutrients, they can have an impact on the waterway through increasing plant growth or algal growth. And when that occurs and those plants die, they actually sink to the bottom and bacteria begins to decompose them. And that bacteria is thirsty for oxygen. And what happens in this instance is eutrophication. You see, the bacteria takes all the oxygen out of the water, you get no oxygen down there, and that can actually lead to the death of fish. Another impact that comes from surrounding land uses is turbidity. This water is relatively turbid at the moment. That means there's lots of stuff suspended in the water column. And what that does is it reduces the ability for light to penetrate into the water. And this can be really negative for things such as fish that are trying to hunt under there, especially when fish are using sight for hunting. It also might be really impacting aquatic plants because they're not getting light to their leaves, preventing photosynthesis. Another side to what council's testing is the living stuff. So I'm talking about the biotic, things like bacteria. And that is looking for a measure of how much pollution is coming from faulty septic systems through to sewage treatment plants or people's pets' waste, such as dog poo. Really important you put it in the bin. Another impact might be blue-green algae, which is really brought on by increased nutrients in the waterway. And blue-green algae is a really bad one because it can negatively impact people. Just by touching water that has blue-green algae can make us sick, and it wreaks terrible havoc on the wildlife in the waterway. Now, by measuring water bugs, macroinvertebrates, they're kind of like a canary in the coal mine.
Macroinvertebrate sampling, a really good way to determine the ecological health of the river. That's conducted twice a year, in autumn and springtime. The water bugs play a really important role in the food chain for sustaining fish populations, eels, turtles. A really good indicator of waterway health. So if you get a lot of bugs that are sensitive to water pollution, that means that the water quality is generally good. However, if you get quite a few bugs that are quite tolerant of pollution, that means the water quality is likely to be in poor condition.
You see, in our creeks, our river, and all our lakes and lagoons, there are lots of little water bugs living down there in the leaf litter. These little water bugs are essential for the way this ecosystem functions. They feed everything, and eventually they feed us higher up on the food chain. Now, these water bugs, many of them spend a lot of their time in the water. Maybe part of their adult life stages up there in the air, such as a dragonfly. Now, what can we do to take care of water quality?
There are many things we can do that will have a positive impact on the water quality of the river. Things like making sure that We don't allow nutrients to wash down our stormwater drains. When we're doing those home renovation projects and those building projects, making sure that we have pollution control measures in place to stop any runoff going down into the river. We can also make sure that when we come down and enjoy this beautiful surrounds, that we take our litter with us and dispose of it properly.
There are many different characters using the Nepean River and the whole catchment. Everyone coming down here for recreation, from fishermen, the water sports, people just coming down to have a picnic and get some of that ambience. And around the water's edge, there's a lot of vegetation, and this riparian vegetation is critical. And beneath the water, there's so much wildlife, from fish, turtles, through the little water bugs, and people have even seen platypus. That's why it's really important we take care of this ecosystem.
At Penrith City Council, we're very proud of our recreational water monitoring program. So the next time you're planning to use the river for recreational purposes, please go to our website, have a look at the sample results that week, and then make an informed decision about where and how you're going to use the river.
So local residents can find the results of blue-green algae monitoring on the Camden Council website. We also report our water quality monitoring in our Waterway Health Report document, which will be updated yearly with the latest water quality results.
Both councils are doing a great job of monitoring the health of the Nepean River. But it's up to all of us to take care of this waterway, and if we do, we can get out here and have fun, and hopefully we'll see more wildlife.